Welcome to Justice Now. This is now my third attempt of putting together the Part 8 video. Originally, I've forgotten the title that I initially had, and unfortunately in the upload failure, it doesn't enable me to access what it was. It only gives me the option to delete the upload. So I'm going to replace it with the subject of touching, inappropriate touching, unwelcomed touching. Many Black colleagues that I've come across, spanning a variety of industries, have mentioned how they've been inappropriately touched. It's very humiliating, it's very dehumanizing, it's very unnerving. And it has its roots. It has its roots in slavery, where the mistress, master, and their children had access to Black bodies and could do whatever they wanted to those Black bodies that they felt they wished to do. And that was to, again, further subject those who are enslaved to humiliation, to loss of independence, and it carries all the way to this day. So what are examples of touching, inappropriate touching? Inappropriate touching is any touch that is unwelcomed, that you have not consented to. And I'll give you some examples. There was one time when I was in the workplace. This was at my last position that I was in. And one of the workers just came up and hugged me. I didn't ask for this hug. I wasn't asked if I wished to have a hug. They just came up and hugged me. In another position that I was in, one colleague came and touched my hair. I didn't ask them to do that, and it certainly wasn't welcomed. And at the time that it occurred, I froze. My response was freezing. I didn't know what to do. It was so unexpected. Now, now what I would have done is I would have responded immediately in, please don't do that. I don't feel comfortable. Or, please stop. I don't feel comfortable. Now you might get another response or reaction from the person doing this, stating, oh, I'm just coming up to hug you, or, oh, it's just a touch, it's not a big thing. Well, it is a big thing. It's so much of a big thing that it's within the sexual harassment policy. It's known as petting. So touching someone's arm, touching someone's hair, giving them a hug, these are gestures. If you are not giving consent to it, if they are unwelcome, these are things that you can document as evidence of sexual harassment. That's why I definitely highly recommend that you get very familiar with policies and procedures. Petting can also mean stroking of the hair. Petting means, touching your clothes. Petting means, touching your leg. I even had a situation in my younger years when I began working in the industry where, and this was in a place full of people that this occurred, where a parent touched my butt. And I didn't know what to do. So by putting a stop to it, by being particularly aware of what's going on, being particularly aware of the policies and procedures, that is going to help you counter that. Now, what may result from it? You may be told, oh, you're not really friendly. You're not really being a team player. You'll be chastised for demanding respect of your own person. You would be chastised for putting boundaries around access to your body. I'm here to tell you, it doesn't matter. You have a right to put a boundary regarding access to your body. No one has a right to just come up to you and hug you. If the roles were reversed and you did that to them, they would be the first one to say that you tried to attack them. They'll be the first one to say that you tried to sexually harass. So you have a right to protect your person. You nip it in the bud right away. Nip it in the bud. I urge you, if you have children, to tell the same thing to your children. In school, many a times, I'll see where a child says, a teacher was, touching my hair and I didn't like it, or a classmate was touching my hair and I didn't like it, or a teacher came up and hugged me and I didn't like it. Let your children know that they have a right to say, no, I don't feel comfortable. I don't want to be touched. They have a right to protect their body. They have a right to protect their personal space, and you have a right to do so in the workplace. It doesn't matter if they chastise you. You are covered under the policies and procedures under sexual harassment. This is regardless if you're male or female. You have a right to protect your body. There's many times where I see that there will be women that will come up to males, touching them on the arm. Some will be even as forward as touching them on their bum. Again, you have a right to protect yourself. Make sure you jot that down in your work journal. Make sure that you explicitly notify that you do not wish to be touched. That this is a place of professionalism, and that this is just absolutely inappropriate. And yeah, that's what I definitely have to say. There evidently seems to be a disparity or difference of rules in terms of access to the body to others compared to that of Black people. That somehow for others they have a right to protect themselves, and somehow Black people do not have a right to protect themselves. No, you have a right to do so. I cannot stress this enough. You have a right to do so. And you make sure that if it continues, that you report it. You report it to HR. You report your evidence to HR to have that stopped. And thank you. That's all I have to say. If you have any questions, comments, put them in the area below, the section below. If you have a story that you wish to share about your experience, or a report that you wish to share about your experience, share it on how you handled it, and also like and subscribe.